Okay, so first, who are you?
Well, my name is Levi White. I'm actually a TA here at BSU. I'm working on my master's and I'm teaching as part of the
So, how long have you been a part of the Dungeons and Dragons community? How long have you been a part of the Dungeons and Dragons community?
I'd say it's been about 10 years. It's right after high school. Suddenly being
How easy was it to get into at all? Or just...
Well, getting into the game itself did take a little bit because there were a lot of people's preferences didn't necessarily understand but being a part of the community means having to start doing that. It's a lot easier to sort of get where everything goes. So I'd say the first week was slow but interesting. After that, it's all great.
How close-knit would you say, like, the D&D community is?
The D&D community being close-knit. Well, right now I'd say that there's somewhat of a divide, only because people are considering different schools of thought with recent developments in 5th edition. But I think that speaks to how close the entirety of the community is as a whole. I'd say, even when arguing, it's a really close-knit group.
Yeah. What would you say the best part of the D&D community is?
What is the best part of the D&D community? Having stories to share that everyone can sort of understand and take part of. Anytime you play a game, you get a new story to share, and whenever you do, there is a common ground for understanding, and anyone who's in the know gets a good laugh out of it.
And what ways have you been able to stay with your D&D community during the pandemic with quarantine and all that happening?
You want me to wait till that goes by?
Yes. Albert Einstein in his hard hat.
Scanned off the blue collar.
Gandalf the blue collar. There we go.
Alright. Ways to stay connected with the group during quarantine. Well, my favorite method has been roll20.net. It's a wonderful website that sort of has inbuilt dice rollers, an inbuilt board that you can mark on, automated character sheets if you want to keep track of the math, any notes you want to make. Besides that, having a Discord server with everyone being able to talk, whether or not they're playing a game at the time, really keeps everyone together. Because honestly, at the end of the day, D&D is about community, and having that small community on Discord keeps us together no matter how far apart we are.
Right. And so would you say after all the quarantine, all that, is that there's really any way to even keep the D&D community apart, or would you say there's so much out there that you can still stay connected despite any of it?
Do I think anything could keep D&D community apart? After experiencing the quarantine and recognizing that even across state lines, different time zones, having to stay locked inside for Lord knows how long, no, I don't think anything's going to keep a group apart that wants to be together, especially with as accessible the game as D&D.
Yeah. And how far-reaching would you say the D&D community is? Like, is it mostly just localized that you play with, or have you ever, like, did games with someone, I don't know, Russia or something?
How far does D&D reach? Honestly, I'm usually surprised by this because I've found players from all over the world. I've read articles that were translated from, say, Korean about Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, here in the States it is a much bigger game than other places, but there's no shortage of D&D players across seas.
Okay. And lastly, If you were to encourage someone to join the D&D community, how would you go about it?
How would I encourage someone to join the D&D community? I'd say if you're a fan of telling fun stories, experiencing things with your friends, and having a better reason to hang out than just come over and eat potato chips, we can have you come over and eat potato chips and throw some click-clack math rocks around. If you want to join D&D, the best reason is having a group of friends and coming up with the silliest reason